The first story: do not trust all the offers you read on the internet. Some of them may be fatal. A dangerous experience happened with a man and his son that may be a lesson for everyone. Here is the story in the words of its owner. A long time ago, I think in 2002, my son and I were searching the internet for advertisements for the sale of a small hockey ball and goal because we had a hockey stick and were missing some other items, and whoever found such items available in those days was considered lucky. After a long search, we found a very good offer for these items at a cheap price, only $50. My son started jumping for joy while I could not hide my surprise at this advertisement, but its owner lived 2 hours away from my house. Amidst my young son's insistence and with the effect of the charming price, I picked up the phone and called the number listed on the advertisement, and a man with a harsh voice answered, and I still remember well his voice devoid of expressions and feelings. He told me that he would not be able to meet me until after the end of his work shift, which ends at a late hour in the day, after sunset, and he asked me to wait for him in a place. He located it for me near the highway, and said he would bring the items in his truck. Sometime before the agreed upon date, I took my wife's car designated for carrying such items and went to the desired location, accompanied by my son. It was starting to get dark, and the clouds were helping to make the place even darker before the weather started to turn and rain fell. I arrived at the parking garage, which was located next to the road. It had a dirt floor and was completely empty of any car. It was bare, without a roof, and everyone who passed by the place could see everything. In it, my son and I put on our raincoats, then we got out of the car and waited until we saw a small truck approaching us. It stopped meters away from my car, but its driver remained in his place and did not get out. I went to him, but I did not notice any of the items that I was going to buy in his truck. He rolled down the window and asked me if I was the person who called to buy sports items. I said yes, and he told me that his friends were coming after him to bring the items, and that I had to wait a few more minutes. Then he changed the position of his car and put it exactly behind my car. I will not hide from you. I had an uncomfortable feeling at that time and I asked my son to get into the car and lock all of its doors except the front driver's door. After a few minutes, 2 other cars arrived at the garage and 4 men got out. My heart started beating hard when I saw the 2 cars empty of any belongings, and I felt very afraid, not for anything, but for my son. After heavy moments, one of the men said in a deep voice, "Where is the money?" With trembling hands, I gave him my wallet, begging him to let me and my son leave safely. He opened the wallet and took out what was in it, then gritted his teeth in anger after finding 100 in it, expecting more. Then he ordered the child to be brought. He ordered my son, who was hiding in the car, to be brought. One of his companions went to my car amidst my pleas, and I have not been able to forget my son's scream when the window glass broke until now. My son was screaming and resisting. Then something happened that I can only consider a miracle from the Lord, who responded to my pleas and prayers. I heard the sound of a police car approaching the place. I was very relieved and almost cried with joy when I saw the colored lights in the distance. One of these men muttered, saying, "Damn." Then they got into their cars and ran away. When the police officers arrived, I told them everything that had happened and they were able to arrest 2 members of the gang, who were not loyal to their leader and confessed everything to the police, if they had a leader at all. The police allocated a car to accompany me and my son to my home so that they would make us feel safe after that difficult day. Since that incident, I have become very afraid for my son and am extremely wary of any suspicious encounter. The second story is midnight. In the middle of the night, you are sitting on the couch watching TV, but someone is lurking around you. A sound wakes you up. It sounds like a knock on the door. In the middle of the night, you are reclining on the couch, the light of the television reflecting on your face and its faint vibrations interrupting your sleep. The house is dark and the moonlight is penetrating the glass window. You get up lazily, rubbing your eyes, then head towards the door. You stand in front of it and listen carefully, searching for some sound outside, but you don't hear anything. After hesitation, you open the door and do not find anyone in front of you. You glance to the right and left, then go out to inspect the garden and go around your car, but you find the place completely quiet. Annoyed, you pull the door hard and return to your place, close the window and turn off the TV, then go up the stairs to your room. Maybe the children were messing around. Yawning, you throw yourself on your bed and cover yourself recklessly, then you smile, happy with the comfort, and close your eyes, hoping to have a peaceful night. Before you enter into a deep slumber, a distorted tape of your past moments returns to your mind. You recall them irregularly, then stop at a detail that seemed repetitive and strange to you. There is a move you made twice tonight. You closed the window when you entered the house after you were inspecting the garden, but didn't you also close it before you sat down and watched television at the beginning of the night? When you heard the knock on the door and opened your eyes, you saw the window closed. You try to get up, but a strange feeling overwhelms you. You feel extremely sleepy, and then you lose all feeling. Opening your eyes, you find yourself reclining on the couch. The light of the television reflects on your face, its faint vibrations interrupting your sleep. You look at the clock on the wall. It is midnight. You realize that what you were experiencing was just a fleeting nightmare. You get up lazily, turn off the TV, and then head with heavy steps toward the stairs. But as soon as you take your first steps upstairs, you hear the sound of a knock on the door of the house. You freeze in your place and then automatically turn to your right, and a shiver runs through your body when your eyes fall on the open living room window. You look in front of you, contemplating the short corridor leading to the main door. Calmness takes over on the place, and the pupils of your eyes, heavy with sleep, widen more and more to struggle with the pitch blackness interspersed with the faint moonlight. You swallow your saliva with difficulty, then you go up to your room without making any sound and look out the window carefully to see the person standing in front of the door, but you find no one. Nervous, you rush to lock all the doors and windows, check every corner of the house, and place a knife next to your bed. Then you lie down in an uncomfortable position, your ear picking up the slightest sound in the air. You almost feel crazy from so many hallucinations, but you feel very reassured when your dog climbs your feet and settles between them, and you feel his breath on them. Then you begin. Relax and fall asleep. You open your eyes again and notice the clock on the wall, illuminated by the moonlight. You find that it indicates 4 in the morning, and your dog is still asleep between your feet. You move him away slowly, then pick up your knife and head towards the bathroom to relieve yourself. You arrive there with your head still heavy from sleep. You turn on the light and your eyes look at the ground and see a liquid red covers the entire floor. You raise your head and find your dog killed and skinned, hanging on the bathroom window handle. You turn around quickly to run away, but you stumble in the blood and fall. Then you try to get up, but you stumble again and fall, and all your clothes are stained with blood. You try again and again in horror, but you get stuck in that place. You suddenly open your eyes, then stand up panting with your eyes wide open, panting and panting, then look around and mutter curses. Ah, another nightmare. It was night. You checked on your dog, who licked your feet when he sensed you waking up. You felt for your knife, drank some water, and then went back to sleep. You get up again, it's morning, and finally, you yawn very comfortably and stay in your bed for a while, contemplating the sun's rays penetrating the window glass, then you get out of your bed after lazily. But your dog is not there and the room door is completely open. She goes down the stairs and quickly runs to the bathroom, then opens the door and looks, no one is there and everything is normal. You curse your stupidity, laughing, and realize that your dog is hiding somewhere, as usual, then you go to the kitchen to prepare morning breakfast, put the coffee on the fire, then go to the living room to turn on the TV like every morning, press the button, then step back and sit on the sofa. But wait a minute, why is it higher than usual? What is this thing? You feel as if you sat on a sticky body, so you turn around to see the ugliest thing your eyes could see. It's your dog slaughtered on the couch. The scream freezes in your throat. Then you reach out to take a piece of paper you found next to the dog's corpse. You open it and read the following: next time, buy a sharp knife. I found it difficult to slaughter this troublemaker. By the way, you woke me up twice and my patience almost ran out. But your feet smell wonderful. I looked for them in the bathroom but I couldn't find them. I'll take it next time. It was said that this man, who lives alone, moved permanently from his home to a remote place, after undergoing intensive psychological treatment sessions.